This gentleman, with very few followers on Twitter, managed to go viral. And he did this by being antagonistic, because this is what social media recommends. If you make wholesome, nice content, then no one wants to watch it. But if you're being antagonistic towards other people, then all of a sudden you get 104,000 views. It's how it works on pretty much any platform. So he is tackling the concept of 15-minute neighborhoods, right? Now, it's very easy to explain why some people have a problem with them, because I notice a lot of individuals who defend this concept and they think it's nice, they think it's amazing. It's got nothing to do with what the Brits and the Canadians are trying to accomplish. This is actually a very old project that comes from the time Romania was under communism, and they decided that a big section of my city should be without cars. Because it's a historical place, there's a lot of historical buildings, they do not want the cars to cause vibration and damage them. So they created an absolute nightmare. And we're talking about, I think it was like the 70s when there weren't that many cars. But now you had to redirect all of the traffic. You caused traffic blocks elsewhere. And the people who lived there were absolutely livid. However, with the passage of time and the fact that more and more people got used to it, now it's considered to be a nice thing. Why is it considered to be a nice thing? I think it's due to the fact of the voluntary aspect. Like, if I happen to buy a house in that area where there's no cars, I already know that in that area there are no cars. So, I consent to that. But if you happen to have what is happening in Canada and in some places of Britain, where people just mind their own business and all of a sudden the government comes in and puts a roadblock and says, yeah, no more cars here. Yeah, I can see why people would be upset because of that, because that's not voluntary anymore. You're not consulting the people that happen to live there. And this individual says that he walked on the street and it took him like 15 minutes to get to a brewery, and he could walk or take a bike. Like, first of all, good luck taking a bike during the winter. I don't know, like all these people who are like, oh, you need to bike more. You need to bike. Like, what do you do when there's minus 20 degrees? Do you bike? But secondly, the overwhelming majority of people aren't drunk individuals that are upset because they can't get to their favorite brewery. The people are upset because they can't go to work. And they're going to be late and they have to wake up earlier in the morning. The people are upset that once they go to work and they want to come home, there's no parking space, because like you have to park your car 15 minutes away from your house, and other people who live there have to do the same. And then, of course, it's the people that want to go partying. Like, you want to go party up until 2 a.m., now you have to walk into the city for like 15 minutes. Like, some places may be dangerous. People prefer not to walk. Like, imagine a girl that's alone, and she now has to walk 15 minutes in the middle of the night. It's unreasonable. But this is the situation. This is what they want to create. I mean, I can only imagine the level of crime in a place where cars can't get in. So this is why people are upset. It's got nothing to do with the fact that they can't find beer. You can go to the nearest Bud Light. They probably give it for free now. Like, finding beer isn't the problem. There's other issues that are upsetting people. And the main important thing is the lack of consent. And you can see, like, the antagonistic behavior. Like, you have other people that feel attacked because, of course, they don't like the government imposing this shit on them. And it's like high pronouns. Like, a lot of people are pointing out that this gentleman has pronouns in the bios. You can keep your concrete jungle, blah, blah, blah. And the guy is like, it's amazing how easy it is to trigger you faceless snowflakes. Well, first of all, it's in the internet. Like, most people are faceless. It's how the internet started. But secondly, it's not that people are triggered, they're just annoyed. I mean, I don't know if you happen to live in one of these areas and you have to go to work in a place that's more than 15 minutes away, right? Like, what? Are you going to suggest that everyone in that neighborhood has to work in the neighborhood? Because that would look more like a prison to me. Like, it is very interesting, actually. It's pretty much like a prisoner saying, yeah, I love my prison. Everything is where I need it. Like, I have, like, everything within a 30 seconds distance. If I need to go to the toilet, it's over there. If I need to work out, it's over there. And if I need to take a shave, it's right over there. Right? Like, this is pretty much what you're saying. It's like, oh, you're in a prison and everything is convenient. It's like, yeah, but, like, if people want to move, it's very difficult. Like, taking 15 minutes up until the close car is ridiculous. Even back in the day, in medieval time, people had horses and carriages in their house. They didn't, like they didn't have cars. And that is actually, actually, this is a very interesting statement. If we are to suggest that cars pollute and we need to save Earth in order to remove all vehicles, why wouldn't they encourage the horse and carriage again? Because this is how people used to transport, right? It's not about apparently forbidding people from having access to transportation. Correct? Correct. Why not just allowing them to have horses? Because I'm willing to bet most of these cities still have legislations that you cannot have a horse and a carriage. Like, for example, in my town, you can't. It's illegal. Right? Like, if you travel outside the city, you can have a horse and carriage. But within the city, you're not. I find this to be interesting. It's just an observation, right? It's not about, like, restricting people's movements. Then why not let people have a horse and carriage? Like back in the old days. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.